In the 80s, Marvel had a lot of cartoons that represented their comic books, from Fantastic Four to Spider-Man to the Incredible Hulk. However, one specific show that was proposed never got it past the first episode. I am talking, of course, about Pryde of the X-Men. So join me as we dive into this one-season wonder. Pryde of the X-Men was a one-shot show broadcast in 1989 along Marvel's other 80s cartoons, aired infrequently in syndication, and even was the basis of one of the best arcade games out there. The show created different reactions from fans, whether it be praise for its animation or the insults of a campiness and childification of its original dark overtones, such as intolerance and bigotry. The show's name, of course, is a clear pun on Shadowcat's name, and one small factor is that the funding for this episode actually came from another one-season wonder, RoboCop the animated series. Toei Animation, in turn, was commissioned by Marvel Production to produce this episode instead of a 13-episode of RoboCop, thus ending one season wonder and creating another. The show's theme is very high in energy, much like the Turtles' 80s theme, and it feels like it covers what the basic of the shows entails. It covers Magneto's plan and who the X-Men are, and I feel like the theme fit for its time period. Character-wise, if you don't know who the X-Men are, why are you even watching this video? I should not have to go much into plot, but for those who have never heard of X-Men, you're probably living under a rock, but the explanation is simple. Mutants have powers, humans do not, there's prejudice, all that, and that's basically all you need to know about X-Men. The pilot opens up with narration from Stan Lee and quickly jumps to the military escorting an imprisoned Magneto, with White Queen wasting no time in helping him escape, making the men think they are in quicksand. We then meet the main character, Kitty Pryde, coming to the mansion for the first time. Professor X introduces himself, explaining how he learned of her and teaches her about Cerebro. We then learn each X-Men's power and name.
This is Scott Summers, better known as Cyclops. His eyes shoot concentrated beams of pure energy. Next is Peter Rasputin. His codename is Colossus. Don't worry, Kitty, as Colossus Peter is impervious to harm.
He's good.
Next, meet Alison Blair, the Dazzler. She can transform sound into powerful bolts of light.
Who's that?
Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler has mastered the art of line-of-sight teleportation. That's Wolverine, with razor-like adamantium claws. They're sharp enough to slice through almost any substance known to man. Now we meet Storm, whose mutant ability to control weather itself is still not completely understood. Finally, as for me, I have the ability to see into people's minds.
Their minds?
Oh, don't...
The professor has all the X-Men quit training in order to properly introduce themselves. Kitty is quickly frightened by Nightcrawler's appearance and phases through the computer, destroying it. All of the X-Men, aside from Wolverine, are happy about the team's new addition. The alarm goes off and the X-Men head to an emergency as Magneto and Juggernaut enter the mansion, and it turns into a game of cat and mouse. Magneto chases Kitty for Cerebro's circuits, eventually winning.
The world is mine.
Meanwhile, the X-Men take on Blob and Pyro, and that ends quickly. The heroes make it back to the destroyed mansion, causing the team to go back and forth on what to do. The X-Men agree that it's best to keep Kitty on Earth, but she of course sneaks on the ship to get to Magneto's asteroid M. It quickly becomes mutant versus mutant as the two teams begin fighting each other. Kitty eventually stops Magneto.
The circuit! You made me break the circuit! Now nothing can change the comet's course.
Kitty, strike now! Magneto's in position.
Nightcrawler uses his power to teleport to save the rest of the group, and it looks grim for him, but he teleports in time. The series ends with narration from Stan Lee.
Yes, the X-Men have won, but only for now. Magneto is still out there, waiting, planning, plotting the destruction of the human race. But whatever the challenge, whatever the peril, the X-Men will be there.
After the pilot was pitched, Marvel started having financial issues, so the Marvel Entertainment Group was sold to the Andrews Group. This marked the end of the show, as well as the rest of the 80s cartoons, from Fantastic Four to Spider-Man, Hulk, and even Spider-Woman. I personally do not see a reason to revive this show at this point, since, it's from the 80s and there's already newer shows with the X-Men, and the 90s show that came out way later was oh so much better. The episode all around is not that bad, but I can tell why a lot of people did not like it. Giving a well-known Canadian character an Australian accent back in the 80s seemed like a slap to the face. As someone who enjoyed the 80s Spidey and Hulk show, I wish there was more to it. It gives us our simplistic plot, the characters feel like their comic counterparts, and in the end, I feel that it could have done more, but what do you get when you only get one episode? I'm your superhero critic. Thank you for watching this one season wonder. And always remember, I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome.